Hello everybody, hello, konnichiwa, bonjour, oi, apparently is what hi is in Portuguese. Welcome, welcome. So today we're going to be flying the Spitfire Mark 24. I'm doing a War Thunder basic training video. Obviously, the basic training video I'm doing, sorry, if I can stop burping. The basic training video that I am doing is how to fly the Spitfire Mark 24. I assume that is reasonably obvious to everyone who is watching, because, you know, what else would I be doing if not that? So let me just see if I can reposition my chat window here. Yeah, I'm hoping to do a little bit more of these types of streams where we're streaming like to record, if that makes sense. Oh, hang on, let me actually fix my thing, because right now it's trying to record RimWorld, which is like great and all, but like I'm not currently playing RimWorld. Yeah, so I'm hoping to do more of these types of streams, and I think it should be super cool, super fun. And here is the plane itself, the Spitfire Mark 24. She's a real lovely aircraft. I did manage to fix the issue with my game yesterday. All I had to do was update my graphics drivers because they were like several years out of date. I think it's pretty obvious to everybody that the Spitfire Mark 24, at least in War Thunder, gets a bad rep, like a really bad rep. And I should say, a bad rep is the word I'm looking for. And I don't think it actually deserves that. I think the Spitfire Mark 24 is a really, really solid little aircraft. Don't get me wrong. It's not amazing. You know, it's not the best Spitfire. But what it is the last Spitfire. So I'm hoping that we can get a good battle and really show off what she's capable of. As I do some recording as well for the channel. So you're going to hear me do some intros and such, just like, don't worry about it, okay? Alright. Rotate. Gear up. Hello everybody, my name is Max, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today we are flying the Spitfire Mark 24, the Griffin, the final Spitfire in the lineup. And what a beautiful plane she is. What a beautiful plane she is. So, let me talk you through her. She's got a Rolls-Royce Griffin engine up front, 4 20mm Sparno cannons loaded with 650 rounds of ammunition. I know, 650. Don't spend them all in one place. I think this plane gets a bad rep because of the planes that she often faces. She often faces the early jets. Originally she was at 7.0, but now she's at 6.7, which I think is a much more reasonable place to put this Spitfire. Even 6.7 is maybe a little bit high, but honestly, she's more than enough. More than enough to, like, 1v1 any aircraft. Hello, Bean, by the way. Hello. We're currently doing a kind of, like, recording stream. So I'm, like, streaming to record. So you're going to hear me use the YouTuber voice. You know the one. And you're going to hear me say the same things a couple of times because I need to do a couple of takes. So just, you know, FYI. Hello there everybody, my name is Max, and welcome back to War Thunder Basic Training. Today we're going to be flying the Spitfire Griffin. The Spitfire Mark 24 specifically, the last of the Spitfires. I think she gets a bad rep, this Spitfire, specifically because she always ends up facing early jets, which is what we're doing today. But I'm hoping that I can show you that it's not actually as bad as we think it is. Of course, I've got my Canadian flag flying proudly, as you would expect. As you would expect, you can take my Canadian flag over my cold, dead corpse. Hello, Fireflash. Hello, Bean, by the way. Hello, hello. Oh, are you off, Bean? Are you going to go on an adventure? Alright, fair enough. Disappointed in you, though. I think we're going to go whack this ME-262. The Spitfire Mark 24... The Spitfire Mark 24, the Griffin, this one, the one I'm flying, is a perfect example of what a Spitfire should be. I think there's no plane that she can't face that she can do something or nothing against. No, she's always either faster or more maneuverable. Okay, consider aiming, Max, that would help. So my pilot definitely pulls 12 Gs. What? Hello? Okay, there we go. I'm sorry, all my skill left my body there. You know, it all just flowed. flowed out of me. It's okay, we still got the kill, And I didn't actually use that much ammunition. I mean, I used more than I wished I did, but, you know, whatever. Hello, zombie. It's been a while since you've stopped in. So we got an ME-262 and a TA-152 up there. I think I can outturn both of them. There are, like, a couple of jet fighters that the Spitfire will struggle against in a, like, early turn, a one-circle turn, I guess. But in a sustained turn, the Spitfire will outturn anything. That's a lot of turns, I know. But if you guys are watching this video, I'm assuming that you know what you're doing, because it's, you know, a Spitfire Mark 24. We're gonna execute a new strategy. I call this run away. It's a rare strategy that I employ in the Spitfire. However, I realize I'm currently facing the entirety of the enemy team. Oh, there's the rest of my team. I didn't really fancy taking on an LA9, a TA-152 on my own. I mean, like, with a team, maybe. Okay, right. This is called Flail. You want to do this to avoid getting shot by the Russian. And then we're going to test and see if it actually is better at turning. Well, it is now that it doesn't have a wing, so... Bad test. Alright, let's fly straight. Straight and level. Look around. We got that LA9 up front. You could tell who I think is going to kill me first, because the one I think is most likely to ruin my day, I always have selected. You could select with the X button, for those of you who don't know. At least that's what my controls are. Yours might be different. Skill in this economy? I don't have much skill. But what skill I do have, I will share with you all. You're welcome. I'm honestly shocked that the Lincoln is still alive. Who is speaking and when are they going to stop speaking? Ideally. Oh, he got murdered by a Lincoln, hey? Okay, alright. I see he's having a good life. Life is good for him. What is this TA-152 gonna do? Oh, he's gonna die. Okay, alright. Fair enough. Death is just another path, one that we all must take. Yada yada. It was not a very good battle, this one. We'll have to do another battle, I think. I just did not get... The problem is, when I'm doing these, like, tutorial videos, or these, like... I call them my tutorial, but they're really, like, show-off the plane videos. What I need to happen is I need my team to lose, but not lose, like, terribly. I need them to lose good enough that I can, like... Oh, look at me! I've got 8 kills! Get wrecked, scrubs! But I also need them to not get absolutely obliterated, so that, you know, I have a chance of actually doing stuff. So I actually do need to turn the chat on to all chat. The other thing I need to figure out is to see if the chat window is visible in the recording, because I've got no idea if it will be. But, you know, I'm proud of myself. I've really, like, expanded my YouTuber skill set, you know? I feel like having the chat on the screen possibly is, like, the lowest form of YouTube skill, but I've got it now. And I didn't have it before. Oh, okay, that LA9 is in space. Starting the Russian space station a couple of centuries too early. Decades, I suppose, not centuries. Let's not get bogged down with who said what. Yeah, I would love to start combat with him. How would you like me to do that? Using what jet engine would you like me to zip up to 1,000 feet? I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not critiquing him. This is the way he should play it. If he plays it any other way, he's going to be absolutely mobbed to death, but doesn't mean I have to like it, you know? Just because he's playing it right doesn't mean I have to sit here and go, oh, well done, LA9, oh, I'm so glad you're extending the battle so that I can sit here for 1,000 years. It's my LA9 impression. If you fly Russian planes, that's my impression of you, by the way. Just want to let you all know. That's what I think Russian players sound like. I'll probably go, Netsi, Netsi, Natale, Netsi! Ooh, what do we think? I'm thinking this P-51 might be in trouble, or he would be in trouble if there wasn't a Spitfire directly behind him. If I was that LA9, I think think the best, like, strategy would be just, like, drop a gear. So, drop a gear and disappear would be the best strategy. Because if he turns too hard, for example, like that, he brings both me and the other Spitfire behind me into play. Boop! Everything is awesome. Everything is cool. Da-da-da-da. Everything is awesome. I'm living our dream. Yeah, I like this plane. It's a good plane. I don't fly it because I think it's, like, amazing or anything. I fly it because it's fun. I know this is like a groundbreaking revelation in War Thunder when everyone's like, okay, I need to fly the Hunter F1 so then I can fly the Hunter F6 so then I can finally fly the Phantom so I can get to my Typhoon and everything will finally be okay. That's my impression of the average War Thunder player, which I acknowledge is most of my community, so like, hashtag please don't hate me. But at the same time, like, we all know that me and the chat have a love-hate relationship, and it very much borders more on the hate than the love. In my opinion. Which, actually, if you do the maths, my opinion is the only one that matters, because, you know, this is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship. Or a monarchy, perhaps. I'm seeing, like, I don't know, I'm seeing a lot of Spitfires at this rank, for some reason. Like, I don't feel like I don't feel as if there are this many Spitfires in the lower ranks, you know? I don't know why, but I feel like honestly, every time I do these, like, recordings and I listen back to my voice, every time I say like, I feel a little bit of my soul die. So, I'm actively trying to avoid it, but because I'm trying to avoid saying, okay, don't say like, every single word that comes out my mouth is like, because I'm an idiot, and I've got about 4 brain cells, and one of them is just like a monkey with cymbals crashing each other together. Anyway, what was I saying? In this, like, upper tier, the Spitfires seem to get more love than they do in the lower tiers. I don't know why, I don't know if it's just, like, the Spitfires are just actively better, or versing the Americans. Excellent! The hated foe! A lot of people will swear by the early jets, like the ME-262. The Americans have one as well, some stupid thing. It's a premium. Personally, I think they're pretty much useless. A lot of people will swear by the Russian early jets as well. Don't get me wrong, they're maneuverable, but they're maneuverable in, like, the one circle. But just because it's an early jet, the energy, like, generation is miserable. So if you can just turn with them, if you could survive the first hit, you will get them eventually. P-51s, honestly, don't really care about, to be honest. I see those basically as a free kill, unless there's like 3 of them or 4 of them in like a group, sort of huddling together like seagulls or swarming fish. They just, yeah, I mean, they're faster than us, don't get me wrong. The Spitfire's not fast. She's never been fast. And this Griffin engine Spitfire, it's not fast either, compared to the people around her. But American players in general, in War Thunder, in general, don't shoot me. I'm like covering my bases here, so don't pull out a AK-47 and execute me. But in general, American players do not tend to run away. They tend to either try and turn fight or boom and zoom or something like that. They never usually just like... They never just face a direction and just fly that way in a straight line forever, you know? So we'll see. We'll see. I kind of don't want to go for the ball, but at the same time... Come on. Jake. Words. Try them. I don't want to go for the ball, but at the same time, I acknowledge the fact that I am currently recording a video and doing a stream, and I have to keep you guys entertained, and 50-50. 50-50. 50-50 we live, 50-50 we die. I mean, either we live or we die, so there's only 2 options. So therefore, it's a 50-50 chance, despite the fact that there's like, I don't know, 9 enemy planes versus me. I like those odds. Tally ho, tally ho. Speak of the devil. Alright, check behind, watch behind. That's why. Okay, we gotta make him overshoot. Otherwise we're gonna be dead. Alright, now reverse. Ow, did he really get a shot on me there? Fair enough. It's not gonna make a difference though, because your demise is already predicted, sir. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Let me show you a little trick I learned. Oh, you got a friend. Uh-oh. Ugh. Okay, well, we might be able to still get him, but we are dead, unfortunately for us. Take the American with you. Bonsai! Oh yeah, we did not manage to take the American with us. That one, unfortunately, I think going for the middle of the ball was a poor choice. A poor choice. Horatio. Fortunately, it was not actually a P-51 that shut us down, so my comments about the P-51 remain unchanged. Although it was a P-51 that doomed us to my inevitable death. To be honest, I am grinding for the Hunter F6. That's my next goal, only because I want the SRAMs. 4 SRAMs. And currently my only experience of like mid-tier jets I'm going to go with is my Harrier and Jaguar, which are, I've been told, pretty miserable. I've got no idea, but that's what I've been told. Lightning I'm also tempted by, but I obviously don't have the oomph for that. Unfortunately, there is like no Canadian aircraft whatsoever. I mean, I'm not surprised, don't get me wrong, but I do wish that it was different. The only thing that I've got, which is actually Canadian right now, I've been grinding for it, is I've got the HMCS Brentford, which is the Flower class. And I'm determined that I'm going to get HMCS Terra Nova. Because it's like the only tech tree Canadian one that you can get without like doshing out the dosh. I already promised myself that I would not spend money on War Thunder. I don't know why I have this thing against spending money on War Thunder. I must have played for ages now. But, okay, goodbye. Yeah, thank you for that, War Thunder. I'm glad that I'm glad you can open the Shift Tab menu. Okay, we all saw how it was running just fine, right? We all saw that. We all witnessed that it was running at like 100 FPS. And now it's running at like 2. Ugh. War Thunder, what is wrong with your game? Alright, who are we with? Vesting the Americans and the Germans. We're with the Russians this time. Three, 2, 1, and rotate. Yeah, honestly, I mean, the last game was a poor show, but honestly, I like this plane. I do like this plane. I've been told many times that it's terrible, but I like it. It's fun, you know? I remember when games used to be fun. Do you remember when games used to be fun? Remember when we used to bond over games? Used to have fun playing them, you know? I do remember the good old days. Before the dark times. Before the Empire. Huh. Huh. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, never mind. I just noticed that my, like, usually I have in the top right corner I have the frames per second on display, but for some reason they've disappeared now. Oh well, still got the frames in the bottom left-hand corner. By the way, like my graphics settings literally defaulted back to exactly what I had them before, and it works fine now. So I've got no idea what happened yesterday. I think, and I may be wrong, but like, I think War Thunder may be a bad game. Have we considered that as a community? Oops. Right, let's break the other ones off, you know, for asymmetry, I guess, or symmetry. Look, it's a great plan, alright? Doing this, it decreases the weight of your aircraft. Alright? It's a tactic. You can also, if you're really wanting to, you can break your gears off as well, but that may have some negative aerodynamic effects. To be honest, I think breaking the flaps off had negative aerodynamic effects as well, but whatever. It'll be fine. Trust me. Trust me. I am your leader. Well, you hear the echoing conversations of my mother from beyond the door. What do I have to tell you guys? I don't really have much to tell you today. Nothing super exciting is happening. My fish are swimming. Life is good. Birds are tweeting. There's an F-84 up there. That's a starfighter, isn't it? That's what it's called. Yeah, I don't know. It's American. If it's got the stars and bars, I ain't interested. It's the stars and stripes. The stars and bars are the Confederate one, I think. I don't really know. I'm just gonna nod as if I know. ME-262, again, I'm not super interested. In general, they fall from the sky in a burning ball of fire and death. If they try and turn fight with me, it'll be hilarious. But I will say one thing, they do also have those little... Some of them have the jets underneath the engines, you know, like the rockets. To give it that little bit of oomph to altitude. I think that's probably why it got so high so quickly. On the bright side, though, at least their engines overheat quite quickly as well, so, you know, it may be flying now, but it is slowly baking itself. Which is a problem that I don't have in the Griffin engine Spitfire. I usually have it in the Merlin engine Spitfire, where I spent most of my life managing the throttle, but in this one, no such problems, which is why it's better, and it's why you should fly it. Yeah? Yeah? You guys are impressed. Come on, guys, tell me you're impressed. Otherwise, I'm gonna cry. Okay, I guess I'll just cry then. Okie dokie. Let's roll her around. See all those contrails over there? I believe those are the enemy fighters. So, let's go deal with them. Tally ho, red section. Tally ho. Representing the RCAF, I might add. Well, but we could be representing Uwu, which, you know, maybe we should be. Need to reevaluate. Uwu probably has a stronger... The nation of Uwu probably has more aircraft than the nation of Canada, so, you know, maybe we should reconsider our allegiances. P-51, let me guess, P-51, let me guess, P-51, 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 P-51. It's a horde of them! This must be what the Germans felt like. Am I right? Oh yeah, I am right. They're all P-51s. Are you guys going to be P-51s as well? P-51? Okay, and finally, for the complete set, is that guy up there a P-51 Mustang? So we can actually outturn a P-51 without too much trouble. But one thing I will say is we can just about outturn it. It's not like a clear, I'm way better than you. It's a little bit tighter than I would like. And I probably don't want to get involved... Oh, it's not a P-51, it's a TA-152. There you go. I guess we don't get the complete set today. Max, you sound like a used car salesman trying to sell the one car on the lot without tires. Look, it's a good car, okay? It's a great car. It's probably the best car I've ever seen. I'll give you a great deal on it, Zombie. For you, Zombie, 10% above the asking price. So that's as high as I'll go. Alright. Tally ho, red section. You may be wondering why I keep rolling the... Let me try that again. You may be wondering why I keep rolling the wings around before I dive, and to be honest, I'm wondering that too. I think it's a little, like, holdover from when I used to fly the old Merlins, you know, the old Merlins engine Spitfires. And the Merlin engine Spitfires, if you don't roll, well, to be honest, the engine just cuts out and dies. So, you know, points for the Griffin there. It does lose some points for being absolutely staggeringly ugly, but it gains some for being easy to control, or easier to control. That was a little bit ambitious, I'm going to be honest with you. As was that. Really? Am I this bad of a shot? No, I'm not. I wonder if you can keep flying without half a wing. There's some planes that can. And you know, I'm wondering this TA-152 may well be a plane that can. However, I'm not going to give him the chance to get back to the airfield. Bippity-boppity-boo, goodbye to you. I'd just like to point out that that was actually a great ride. Okay, I'm modulating the throttle a little bit here, because, you know, we're currently whizzing at almost 800 kilometers per hour, and I'm not a doctor, but I think that might be quite fast for the little Spitfire here. However, if I don't put the throttle down, he is going to outpace me, you know, due to the fact that he's a horrible jet engine, and American no less, so let's put pedal to the metal and see if we can reel him in. Bit of a long shot, and he dies. Okay. I'm counting that as a kill for the record. Alright, let's go and ground pound, I guess, because we got nothing else to do. Everyone else is dead, and the only person who's left is a bomber, which means he's probably going to be at 5,000 meters. You know there's like the Boeing aircraft that they used to fly satellites up to? You know, it'd be like a Boeing 747 with a satellite strapped to the top of it. That's the bomber we're facing. He's decided that he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play turn and burn. He wants to play I am a satellite. Do. We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. This is interesting. If I whack my table, you can see I'm bouncing my mouse backwards. What if I could control... Can I go down? How would... Oh no, that's really up. Okay. Is there a way to whack it down? I can whack it to the side. And if we, like, whack it... No. More this way. I can't... Okay. There would be a way to control it if I could figure out how to hit it down, but unfortunately all I can do is to the side and... Oh, that's quite the stall. Okay, engine on, recover. Let me guess. He's started the German space program. No, he has not started the German. He is low. Alright. Time to see what the Spitfire can do. Be careful, it's a fast plane. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you reminded me. Otherwise I would not have known that the AR what is it, 234? Someone with 4 engines, is it? Would be a fast plane. The question that you should be asking, though, is it faster than the Spitfire? The answer, perhaps? Probably, but we will see. We will see. .610 kilometers per hour. 611. 612. 613. Oh, it's sprinting. And he's turned around to fly directly towards me. Yes, we've got him. He's too close for missiles. Switching to guns. He's actually probably at the perfect range for missiles right now. I wonder if I can get him from this range. It's gonna be hard, that's a long shot. Oh. Always gotta remember that these like shells are a little bit faster than you think they are. Because I'm used to firing the 20 mils from the, you know, World War II era Spitfires. Alright, let's take a break from the Spitfire Mark 24 now, and let's go and do a ground RB battle. Should be some fun. Need to figure out what I had there. Was it the Comet I had there? Yeah. I'm so close to getting the next tank, so I can finally go up to 7.0. Because I have a tank right now, which is 7.7, that I could use, but if I put it in my lineup, then I'm just screwed, you know? Tea. Delicious. That's right, I unlocked a new skin. I'm now green. I'm green, dabba dee baba da ba dabba dee baba doo bada dee da do do. Bada dee baba boo bada bee baba boo bada ba dee baba doo. This is my rendition of I'm blue dabba dee ba da, but you know, I'm green dabba dee ba da. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards, as you would expect, I have done this properly. I haven't really done this properly. Well, it's the Russians and the Japanese. Honestly, every time you verse the Russians in this game, it's like the boss music starts, you know? Because they're just built different. And by built different, I mean they're just built with bias in mind. Think about this, alright? I am a light tank. I think that's pretty much indisputable. I have basically no armor. And I can't even protect myself from a machine gun, right? Like, that is what a light tank is. I'm a balanced light tank, though, so, like, I'm not too powerful, I'm not crazy, but I get the job done. Perhaps what I'm trying to tell you is I'm not fast. The Russians, on the other hand, get light tanks which are both fast and reasonably well armoured. You can see how that may be an issue. A game-breaking issue. Okay, where is the rest of the enemy team? It was not just that one guy. You can't sell that to me, I'm not an idiot. Yeah, I would suggest reversing. How are you? Oh, enemy tank behind. Of good places to be, I would say that this is probably a bad place to be. Hello, Joel. Joel? Just another crybaby, sorry. Joel. Jack to show. Did you just miss? Oh yeah, but you're just gonna gun me down, so I guess it doesn't make any difference to you whatsoever. Yeah. That's how it feels to play British tanks. Alright, okay. Okay. You wanna play this game? Let's play this game. Let me talk you through the comment. 76mm main gun. 17 pounder. What else? APDS, armor piercing, discarding, saber. It is a round that occasionally penetrates things. Like Adrian's mum. That's about it. That's all I really got for you. There's not really much else to report. It's the same chassis that England's used for the last, like, 5 tanks, which is the Crusader chassis. It sucks balls, but at least it's got a discarding saber gun, which occasionally can penetrate things. I say occasionally because obviously it did not there. And it didn't there either. Right, that's it. It's time for the fetus deletus. Had enough of this little game that we've been playing. Okay, allow me to talk you through it. So this is the exact same thing as the last tank that we had, but rather than having like a, you know, tiny little pew-pew gun, this has 183mm of British tea that can be delivered to a Russian location within 5 business days. Watch and learn. As you can see, it isn't very effective. Despite the fact I just whacked that tank with 183mm of Hesh armor-penetrating shells, it does nothing! It does nothing! I might as well have just thrown a rock at it for the amount of damage it did. Okay, well, we've got to wait for the reload now. Good news, though, it's almost done. It's barely 30 seconds, you know? You get used to it. Okay. Look for enemy tanks. I believe that one is dead. Slowly. Slowly. Reverse, reverse. Think like a Russian. Where do they expect me to be? In Ukraine, probably. Okay, advance. Driver, forward. I mean, Hesh is just spicy Play-Doh. Yeah, I know, but like, it's 183mm of spicy Play-Doh. At a certain point, spicy Play-Doh becomes dangerous just because it's so big, you know? Which is what no one has ever said when they've seen David. Enemy tank, question mark? Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Everything is fine. No one can see that I've got a big tank. Everything is fine. Move, Sherman Jumbo, because I'm not turning. Yes. I live in constant fear. What is the threshold to become danger dough? I would say anything above 120 millimeters becomes like danger dough, you know? Because like 76 millimeters is kind of like, meh. But when you're above 100, probably more like 100 millimeters. When you're above 100 millimeters, even if you don't, I mean, you're essentially always going to penetrate. Which I would know, because most of these Russian tanks I'm fighting have guns larger than 100 millimeters. Not that it really matters, because I have less armor than honestly, my car that I drive around every day probably has more metal on the outside of it than this does. Why? Because I'm British. And you know what the War Thunder devs hate more than the Americans? The Brits. Why? Because they are sad people. There goes my hope of ever becoming a War Thunder partner. Excellent! I would never sell my soul to Gaijin. Things I'd rather do than sell my soul to Gaijin include David. I'm gonna say I probably can't get a shot on that. Beep! Beep! This vehicle is reversing. Beep! This vehicle is terrifying because if that gun decides, well, if that anti-aircraft gun decides that he doesn't like me, I've got not a lot I can do. Everything is fine. Oh, I have to leave at 2:30, Mum. So if the painter is coming, 2:30 I have to leave. Yeah, 3 is. Sorry, Mum's wondering if I'm gonna be here. I believe the word I'm looking for is bonsai. I don't fear the Russians. The Russians fear me. Probably. Hi. I've got no idea who shot me, but you want to play a game? Okay, I don't know where I got shot from. Rest in spaghetti, me. Just keep charging. Advance blindly in this general direction. If all you do is go forward and never back. We've taken heavy damage. But she's still rolling. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay, well, she's not rolling anymore, is she? Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Is that a game you want to play? Are you sure? Are you sure that's a game you want to play? Because I have a Supermarine Spitfire with no bomb strapped to the bottom of it because I forgot to put it on. But that's fine. She's got two 20mm Hispano cannons and two 12.7mm Browning machine guns. And if I know anything about the Americans, 2 Brownings is enough to take over Iraq, probably. Alright. Stay on target. Stay on target. Stay on target. Give him the beans, Gunner! Alright, tally ho, tally ho. Eat lead! Alright, one more time, one more time. We gotta hit it one more time. Get it one more time. Come on, boys. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we got him. I needed that. Anyway, we win this. GG's, well played. GG's, well played. Easy dub. Easy dub. Easy dub. Dubs are what I like. Moving steadily forward. It was fast. We drove in a straight line towards the enemy. Not once did we flag or fail. Honestly, the FV4005 may be the most meme tank that I currently own. Alright, jungle. I like the jungle. Jungles are nice. It's very Canadian of you. First, poke him so he knows you're there. Second one, just ask for permission. Third, try to kill. Not the intention. How much armor does this have? 12 millimeters of steel. That's right, 12. Count them. 12 millimeters of steel. Nothing's gonna penetrate that. The reversing? Oh, the Americans. Excellent. They're weak. Soft. White. Flesh. What was that? Am I already being shot at, or was that the M18 Hellcat? Yeah, I would say the best thing about versing the Americans is it doesn't matter whose side you're on, you always have an M18 Hellcat with you. I actually don't think it is more than the FV4005. For the record. I found myself asking the question that no Canadian wishes to ask. Where is the enemy team? Ah. I found the answer to my question. They are there. Excellent. Right, next problem. How do I commit war crimes against the enemy team? This is a good place to be, right? This is good. Best bit about life is when you're entirely surrounded by people who want to do nasty things to your bum. Hi guys, how we doing? Are you winning, son? Guess not. Oh, who lived in a pineapple under the sea? Not me, goodbye. Horse in yellow and green is he. Not me, goodbye. Not me, goodbye. Not me, goodbye. Not me, goodbye. Right, I thought I saw someone over here. Of course, I may well have done, but he's probably behind that rock. I'm British, so, British superiority in the water, plus 50% defense, right? That's how it works. When you're in a puddle, if you're British and in a puddle, you get plus 50% defense. So instead of having 12 millimeters of armor, we actually have 18. It's a well-known fact in War Thunder. And if you're Canadian, while committing war crimes, it's plus 50% penetration. Yeah. Yeah, well that raises a question. How did he get shot from behind? I'm not liking this. They didn't penetrate our armor, okay? Well, they penetrated our armor. Where did I even get shot by? Oh, I got shot by an anti-aircraft gun. Okay. I love swamp gems. The Brits are just swamp gems with a French accent. What? Okay, it turns out that it's because I wasn't in the water when I got shot, you know? But I'm about to even the score by dropping a 500-pound bomb through his roof. Alright. Hippity hoppity. Eat bomb and die properly. Don't actually think I can penetrate that guy with my 500-pound bomb. That guy, though, on the other hand, I probably can get through. Except the LA-7 got him before I could. Boop! Bye! 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 I'm starting my attack run. We're too close! Stay on target. I have you now. The force is strong with this one. Boop. Hello. Would you like another boop? Boop. Does thou require another boop? Okay, apparently not. Fair enough, fair enough. No, it's a skink. Well, I'm not gonna get through that. But I gave it a solid college try. Okay, let's bring the fetus deletus. What can I tell you about this tank? Well, it's not really a tank, per se. Think of it more like a moving gun. What the British did here, it's honestly, you know, this is why I'm proud of my country. Rather than, you know, designing a turret which could possibly be used in combat, which, you know, is lame, clearly. What the British did is they took a turret off of a ship, because we all know that ship turrets are good enough for most things. Cannons, yes. Naval power, yes. We all know that the British suffer on land, but if we bring our naval guns, we're good at naval, so presumably we'll then be good at land warfare. That was the strategy. Honestly, foolproof strategy. Maybe the best strategy I've ever seen. It may be the best design deal in the history of design deals. Excuse me. I was told that there was a tank over here. A German one? Hello? Okay. Well, with that, my guys, I'm gonna take probably a 2-hour break or so, because I'm gonna go to my lesson, and I will return. I will return. Max Misty 122 will return. I mean, I feel like the question that needs answering is, can it be penetrated by its own machine gun? Apparently not. No, it's not going to get through that. Hello, Jamin, by the way. Hello, and immediately goodbye. You know, I would rather die than stream for you, so, you know, goodbye immediately. No, I'm kidding. But I do have to leave, because I need to go get ready. My lesson today. It's Friday.